All right, so welcome everybody. This is Barney Kuntze, and I'm recording live from my office here in Ontario, Canada. And I am excited to share with you today on a couple of things. First of all, thank you for those of you who are able to join with us live. And if you're watching this as a recording, this is going to be just as valuable. So this is going to take about probably 15 to 20 minutes, but if we have some questions, it might get to 20 or 25 minutes. And the purpose of this short little demo of our app, but then also of this call, really, or this little recording, is to share with you just something that I had an idea about a share to win contest. And all that means is just that I'm going to show you how simple it is to share with people who care things that you want to share with them, okay? So basically, you're going to be sharing presentations with them. You're going to see how easy it is to do from our app. And we're doing this because we just want to have some fun. We put a lot of work into building this app over the last 18 months. This app is called the Success Summit app. So I'll switch screens here for a second. And I'd like to call it, think of it as, use this line, it's like Netflix for WILE members. So the vision for this thing is just getting started. The inspiration why I've been called forward 7 years ago, and God showed me my life mission and vision, which is to inspire and educate and impact millions of people around the world. And I decided that with my passion for Young Living, and because I'm building the business, I thought, what a better way than to bring that vision into fruition into Young Living. And so if you're not familiar with me and the story, I'm just going to tell you briefly. I'm a gold leader from Ontario, Canada, working on platinum. And I've been building the business part-time for the last 5 years because I was running 2 fitness clubs, finally have sold those. So now it's full-time building the business. And we had this year will be our 4th year for the WILE Success Summit. So if you're not familiar with what the WILE Success Summit is for whatever reason, I'm going to presume that most of you are familiar with it. But it's an online educational event completely dedicated to Young Living members. So David, who was on earlier before I started the recording, I'd asked him why he had came on the call and what he was hoping to get out of it. And he said, well, I'm kind of a business builder, but I'm a product user, but I want to start building the business because I want to share the oils with other people because what are the products because of what they've done for me. And I don't want people using bad oils. And he kind of said that with a little chuckle. And so what's cool about this platform and this tool is it's specifically been designed and created for you guys, for all of us, for Young Living. Now, there are other educational online events or apps or membership sites and events that are more generic, and they're talking in more general terms because the essential oil community is huge. And I really, no offense if you're watching this and you're from another company or using another brand, I just didn't want to have that. I wanted to favor and completely support all of us as fellow Young Living members. So that's why the summit was created. And so you know that when you are going through the content and the training, it's all compliant and that it's all specific to Young Living, okay? So this is just a little flyer that you can find in our Facebook page. Maybe you've been reading this while I've been talking, but it's fairly straightforward. But as you can see here, you can access all of the 210 presentations right from your mobile device, which can be an iPad, an Android device, and or an iPhone, an iPhone. And then you can use the app to easily share the presentations with your team, friends, family, and even prospects, okay? So I won't bore you with reading this entire thing, but you can see here we have a very simple pricing structure. There's monthly at $19.95, no long-term commitments, just month to month. You can cancel at any time. And then $197 for the year, you save about 22% if you pay in full. You're good to go for the whole year, okay? The neat part is for the exciting news, and what I alluded to if you got my email or received my email, was just about the fact that I really felt after coming back from Utah and being present for Gary Young's memorial, with how much of an impact he's had on me and my life and my wife's life and our family, with our kids, with my business. I mean, the fact that we've been able to experience and are blessed enough and grateful to be able to continue to keep building the business. I've been able to sell 2 gyms that I'm still passionate about the fitness industry, but I just wasn't passionate about being in the club ownership ring anymore. And because of that, I look at everything that I have, for the most part, a lot of it when it comes to business and the financial compensation and just all the abundance and wellness, really the wellness, purpose, and abundance that we know all too well. That's our call to action with Young Living as fellow members, is because of Young Living, and it's because of Gary. And so I wanted to do something to just have fun. And so I came up with this little share to win contest. And basically how it works is you just activate the Success Summit app with either the paid version or subscription. or you can do the 14-day trial. If you're not sure if you want to drop $197 or $19.95 a month, then just start with the 14-day trial, get your feet wet and your hands dirty, and you can get in there and start using it, and you're going to have a lot of fun, and it's pretty simple to use. So then basically all you have to do once, and if you're a current member, if you already have the app, or you have been a VIP member for quite some time, you're already entered into the contest. All you have to do is just start sharing between the dates stated here, which is June the 7th, which is today, I think. Yes, today. And then it's going to go till the end of the month, so June the 30th. And this is just really fun. So first of all, I want to make sure, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they were like, well, but I don't want to be out there spamming people. Well, and just randomly sending it to people, presentation. So we don't want you spamming people. We want you to connect with people and to encourage some sharing, because basically for the next 23 days until the end of June, if you just did 1 or 2 presentations a day, it's very doable. You can do it anywhere, anytime, right from your phone, while you're standing in line, while you're commuting, you're on a plane, on a train, on a bus, on a subway, and as a passenger in the car. Don't do it if you're driving. You don't want to be texting and driving. And you can do it so it's very easy. And so there's going to be 2 different prizes that we're going to be giving away, just randomly raffling off from the one group who are the paid members, or who have a paid subscription. They're going to have the chance of winning $200 cash. We will PayPal that to you in the first part of July. And then if you're one of the 14, if you just did the 14-day trial, you're like, hey, this thing sounds pretty cool, I just want to try it out, then you can just go ahead and do the 14-day trial, and then you get another month free, or you could have the chance to win 1 month free. Okay? So that is how the contest works. Now, I'm just curious, just for a little bit of feedback, for those of you who are on with me live, can you guys just let me know in the chat box, let me know if you have any questions, or just put a number 1. Okay, put a number 1 if this is clear and this is and this makes sense, okay? And if you're ready to get started. So I have to be able to click on here. So just so that I know that you're still with me, just put a number 1, say this is clear, this makes sense, and we're ready to rock. So I know, and Steph, I know that you came on a little bit later. If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask me, or just type it in the chat box because you're on with us live. And thank you guys. Okay, so we've got some 1s flowing in here, which is great. Okay, so next thing. So first of all, you're like, okay, Barney, this sounds really cool, but I'm going to presume, I am going to make not an assumption, because we know what that does, the ASSUME. I'm gonna make a presumption. I'm going to make the presumption that you have no idea what this thing is or how it works, and my goal in the next couple minutes is to just show you how simple and easy it is to use, okay? So you're just going to go to successsumitapp.com, and then you can scroll down on the page. You can see how it works. And within minutes after you get in your, when you fill out either the form at the bottom, if you want to activate the 14-day trial, or if you want to activate one of the paid subscriptions, you'll have a username and a password that you can then use to log into our membership site, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then you'll go to the App Store or the Play Store, and you're just going to type in successsumitapp.com. And once you've downloaded the app and you have an active subscription, whether it's paid or the free trial, you're then just going to use the username and the password that we provide for you to log in and access the app, okay? So it's very simple. So you can get started in 3 steps. Activate the subscription, one of your subscriptions, and then download the app from the App or Play Store, and then sign in with your username and password, okay? So without me going through and showing everything on here, because you can see this on the page later, I'm actually going to plug in the app in just a second. But first, I'm going to show you what it'll look like when you go to get logged in. Now, you can get to this login screen. If you want to remember the URL, you're more than welcome to, but it's fullcircleholistichealth.com, and that's my company name or my business name, and then it umbrellas the Animal Wellness Summit that we've created and put together last year, which, by the way, has if you're an animal lover, it's amazing. We're doing a second one again this year, and all of the oil education and information in there is all Young Living as well. So it's pretty amazing. And then the Wild Success Summit. So you can see that there. We were just having some people not really sure when they would get charges on their credit card. They're like, who's Full Circle Holistic Health? So our brand and our company is Full Circle Holistic Health. So you can remember that and type in that URL up at the top, fullcircleholistichealth.com/login. Or you can just go to successsumitapp.com and you can click on that little button here that says member login. But alternatively, if you're following us on the Wild Success Summit, you can just go to wildsuccesssummit.com and then just click on the login button there as well. Okay, it's just for whatever reason, is taking a little bit longer right now. So it'll redirect to the page, and then you can click that yellow button, okay? But nonetheless, it takes you here. You're gonna enter in your username and your password, and then once you get logged in, we've made some significant improvements to this membership site because there was a lady on last night, her name was Debbie, and she's a current VIP app member, and I really wished I was able to record what she said because, well, actually I did, but I didn't get her permission to share it yet verbally with what she said. But what she did tell me was that she loves the app, loves how easy it is, loves that it's right on her phone, you know, right here. It's easy to use, it's convenient, it's with her anywhere, anytime, and that it was easy to use and to share the presentations. But the membership site wasn't really so cool, and I was kind of scratching my head, and I'm like, what do you mean it's not that easy to use? We've made a lot of improvements. She's like, well, no, like a couple months ago when I last logged in, it was just really kind of not fun to use. And I'm like, okay, well, you haven't saw the new one yet. And so I showed her this, and she's like, wow, it's pretty cool. So what you're going to do when you log in, you're going to go to Summits or the dashboard. It'll show here. Just keep in mind that when you log in, you might not see some of this stuff on your menu options. It depends on what you have access to. So this is specifically team training for my own Young Living team. We use the same platform. So just know you might not see some of that. So let's say that we're going to go to 2017. You click on the summit. And first of all, this is the first thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is you're going to click on the presentation index. So you click on each summit, you click on the presentation index. And what this is this basically gives you a snapshot or an overview of all of the presentations that are in here, because the cool part with it is that there's 210 presentations. The dark side to it is there's 210 presentations. There's a lot of content in here. And as we continue to grow and develop based on your user feedback, we will make it easier for you to kind of browse through based on categories and all that stuff. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download this document and then print it off and then keep it with you or just save it to your computer. Because yes, this is a little old school with, we're talking about using an app and having a membership site. It's totally, modern, using the high level of tech to design all this stuff. But there's something to be said about printing off a piece of paper and going through and highlighting, these ones are of interest to me. And then once you've watched them, you can go in and actually check them off. So I encourage you to do that, to start there, so you can go and actually just print off the index. So if I want to go back to, I did 2017, so now I'm going to go out on 2016, and you're going to repeat that for all 3 summits. Now, keep in mind that you may not see the Animal Wellness Summit. I know this might feel like a bit of a tease, but because they're 2 separate brands, we do have customers that have paid for just the Young Living Summit and the YL Success Summit, and then some people who have just paid for the Animal Wellness Summit. There might come a point in the future where it will all be included in your membership, but as of right now, it's not. But I just want to show you how it's going to work for, because we're still constantly updating the site, and it takes a lot of back-end work. But I want to show you on a video display page. So this one right here, you can watch the video. This is right from the membership site. So if you're not super savvy with your mobile device, then you can do it this way. You can watch the video here. You can play just the audio, or you can actually just go through and read the transcript. So every single video or presentation has a written transcript, which is really cool. And this does look kind of small to read, but you can just click this full screen button, and then it puts it like right into full screen on whatever device you're on. By the way, you can do this on like a smartphone, tablet, like an iPad or an Android device. And you can also do it on a computer. So if you don't have a phone or an iPad for this membership, then you can still access everything. The only thing that you can't do with the membership site as of right now is you can't share the way that you can in the app, okay? So that's that. So you can read the transcripts, and just know that the Young Living Summit trainings are being updated to have the audio and the video, okay? Being included. So one last feature in here that's really neat is that on each let's go to this one here with Tom Woloshin. When you go on each presentation, you can take and make notes. So this is pretty neat, where you can click on the notes, and as you're listening to it or watching or even reading, I don't know how it's going to work from reading and taking notes at the same time, but if you're sitting here listening, and you can go through like, this is cool, I'm cool, don't mind my spelling, you're cool. I can give this as a title and say Tom Volition, the mind and body. I'm just going to keep the description really simple. I can save that note, and then I can go over to my notes, and then all your notes are saved conveniently for you right here in the My Notes section. So pretty cool. For those of you who are on with me live, can you give me a 2 if you think that this is really cool? And even if you don't, just so that I know that this is making sense, still give me a 2 anyways in the chat box. I just like to do this so that I know that you're still with me. And if you're watching as a replay, see if you can try and give me a 2 in the chat box as well. Obviously you can't but welcome to Barney's Brain. This is my sense of humor. So let me keep going, okay? So that's cool. You can get in there, you can listen, you can watch, you can read, all of it's in there. It's simple and easy. And then, if you want to change, go to my account, you can change your password. When you get to become a member, you can update your credit card or change your credit card, change your email, change your password, change your address. It's pretty user-friendly, okay? So that's cool all around. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you is, I took myself off share. So that was the membership site. So now let's get right into the app, because I'm going to be as very efficient as possible, because I'm taking up more time than I was planning on that with the membership site. So again, guys, we're going to go on the number screen. That's, look at that OGV. That was from my team members. So this is my phone. Now, by the way, if you're an OCD personality, or the type of personality where like everything has to be all tidy, like this drives my wife nuts. She's like, why do you have so many emails? I'm like, they're just numbers. This one I use for notifications. I just don't clean it off. I'm an action man. I don't have time to go through and clean all that stuff up. So don't let that distract you, okay? So what you're gonna do when you get your subscription or your trial activated, you're gonna go here to the App Store or the Play Store on whatever device you're on, and just go to search and type in Success Summit app. So there, it's already in my search or my history. So you can see that I've already downloaded it. So it says open, but you can click on it to see a little more, and it'll show you on here, which, by the way, actually, while I'm showing this, if you're a member, or when you become a member and you've had a great experience, I'd absolutely positively love for you to be, we haven't actually been promoting this, but if you can go on and give us a review, hopefully you have something nice to say and it's been valuable and you genuinely feel that, then go on there and give us a review. We'd really appreciate it. So app is downloaded, trial or subscription is started. Once you log in, this is the dashboard. Now, this is sometimes where people get hung up, because they're like, okay, what do I do? Like, where do I go? I tried to click on these 2 names, the Dr. Jessica Dietrich Marsh and Ben and Carol Howden. Right now, those are just placeholders, so they don't actually take you anywhere. But it will change in the future as, again, we keep upgrading and developing the app. But right here, when you go to, let's say we'll look at, where's this? Okay, we'll go to Carol. Okay, we'll click on Carol's presentation. Now the presentations that are available under feature presentations will change, but nonetheless, it takes you to what's called a video display page, or a presentation display page. Now I can click on them there, but I can also go into search. And pardon me, I know that I'm actually clicking pretty quick, but there's the 3 little lines in the top left-hand corner. Now I'm on an iPhone 10. It might look slightly different on your device depending on which one you're using. But I can find presentations by going into search, and I can put in oils. Now there's going to be a lot that comes up here, because there's a lot of presentations that have to do with oils. Imagine that for Young Living Essential Oils. I could type in here and say compensation. Okay, David was saying that he wants to get into building the business and learning more about it, but there's nothing on compensation, which is funny. Maybe I'll put in about money. So there's 3 presentations about money. Maybe it's about hormones. Okay, so just know that it'll search. You can search by presenter. So I could put in. I'm going to presume most of you know who Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton is. He's the Young Living rock star, is how I call him or refer to him as. You can see all Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton's presentations that are in there. Now, the third way that you can find presentations is you can go to libraries. And once you click on it, you can, again, this is where your sheets come in handy to have. So you can okay, this one, is 2015. So I'm going to go to 2015. And notice that there's a little code there. You see the codes, the 15.01, 02, 03. Those are presentation codes. The 15 means from 2015, 16, 2016, 17, 2017. Makes pretty good sense, right? But what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to click on this one from Adam Ringham, which is an amazing presentation, by the way, Essentially Fit. Now from here, I can listen. to it, just like I'm on my, just like I'm on, I can put my headphones on, then hit play. I have to actually hit it. Okay, so you can see that, and I can scrub through, so I can hit forward, and it'll do its thing. Now I can watch the presentation right from here. So if you want to watch the video, it usually takes a little bit longer to let the video load up because you're streaming right from our server. And then you're going to want to, I just want to point out this, that little box here in the bottom right-hand corner of the video. Once you do that, then you can actually turn your phone and you can go into landscape mode like this. So you can turn it to be like that. And then what I like to do sometimes, even for me, even though I know all the presentations, sometimes I forget. I'm like, what is in that presentation again? So here you can actually just go through and kind of scrub through, or probably you can scroll through in order to see what's on that presentation, okay? So that's the video or the watching part. And then I can go to the read part. If I want to sit here and read, I used to be a big reader, but now with my lifestyle and just being with our young family and everything I have on my plate, I haven't been scheduling as much time to go through and reading, but for those of you who are readers, you're gonna absolutely love that feature. Now from here, I can download the audio and download the video. The reason we don't have the downloading the transcripts is because it doesn't take very much to actually download. Now this is, in my opinion, the coolest feature and one of the most, I wouldn't say important feature, but one of the most highly requested feature. And the one that it gets most people really excited, and this leads into our share to win. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click that share button. I'm going to type in here, I'm going to type in Barney Testerson, just for a little joke here, and then I'm going to type in the email. I'll do Barney Kuntze +5@me.com, and then I'm going to say that this Barney guy is really cool. He's a business builder, okay? Or maybe he's a product user, a friend and family, or a prospect, okay? So then I'm gonna hit send, and there you go. It's as simple as that. And then you get a confirmation that you have shared that. And what's really cool about it is that I'm actually gonna go to my email, and I'm gonna show you what this looks like. So when this is where it says Barney Testerson. So let's say that this is Joe Blow, okay, because this is actually a little confusing. Excuse me, pardon me. So this is the email that Joe Blow, or the person that you're sharing the presentation with, will get. So they'll get an email. This is how they actually receive it. So it's important that you do this with yourself. Like maybe you have a second email address. Go in there and just test this out yourself, because once you've gone through it once or twice yourself, then you can kind of help your people through with how to properly get access to it. So they're going to click on the click here. It says the watch. It takes them to an encrypted link or a page that will only last for 48 hours. So this is really important because you want to make sure that, I'll use David for an example. So if David was on my team, I'd say, David, there's this amazing presentation by Adam Ringham. I know that you've been talking about really wanting to get on your fitness. I think you really would love it. So if I sent this presentation to you, would you watch it? He's going to say, hopefully, say, yes, absolutely, I'd love to. So, okay, I'm going to send it to you, but there's a 48-hour, once you click on the link, there's a 48-hour time period. So how long do you think it'll take you to watch that, or how long do you think it'll take you to get through that presentation? You might say, 3 days or something, because I've got some stuff on my plate. Okay, cool. The reason you want to do that is because you want to know how long did they say it's going to take them to get to it, and then you want to follow up appropriately based on that amount of time. So once David, so let's just use David. He's the guy who got this presentation. He can click on watch video. That's the screen that it defaults to. He could just say, well, I'm traveling right now, or I'm somewhere out and about. I just want to listen to the audio, or maybe I'm really interested in reading this presentation. So this is cool. This is where they can actually just read, watch, and listen. And then once they have clicked on that link, right from there, you will get an email, okay? So pretend that email went to David. This one then gets sent to you to confirm, saying, hey, Barney has viewed the presentation and essentially fit, or David in this example. That's why it's confusing when I use my name for both, for the first time. And that's all it is. It's basically an email gets sent out to the person that you shared with, and then the email will just sit there. So that it's important to note that the 48-hour period does not kick in until they click that link. So that email could sit there for a month. And then once they click on the link, then it'll start the 48-hour period, okay? So it's pretty cool because, I mean, it would start to get a little bit challenging if you, as soon as you send it, you'd only have 48 hours. But you send it to them, and then it's like once they click on it, then then hopefully they've watched it. And so what's really cool about it, in my opinion anyways, is it gives you the ability to be able to easily share with the people in your life and your business and your team, just, you know, prospects, family members, just anybody really. You're sharing some great education. And I've actually even used this, I shared this last night, and I'll finish up on this note here, is that I have actually done this when I was out and about in a grocery store, and I was talking to a lady in line, and we just got talking about, she's like, oh, what do you do? And I told her, and came up about hormones, and I said, oh, there's this really great presentation, this great video that talks about healthy hormones. You know, if I sent it to you, would you watch it? And she said, absolutely, I totally would. So what I did is I went in here, this is like real time, I went in, and I typed in, it was Jessica. Actually, I don't think I did this last night. I typed in hormones. This is a couple weeks back. I typed in hormones, and right there, so Dr. Jessica Dietrich Marsh, and this is important. You might say, well, Barney, but I don't know what's all in there because I haven't used the app that much yet or at all. Well, that's cool. You will get to know the presentations, and they're meant to be used as tools. And there's a common statement that's made by some of the most successful trainers in network marketing, but young living leaders and other people in network marketing, is that you want to let the tools do the talking. I heard that from Brian Carruthers, and he said, if your lips are moving or if you're pointing to something, it should be to a tool so that your team can use it, and so that they can actually use that, so it's not you always giving out the information. And that's what this tool was designed for, is to help you to let the tools do the talking. So I went like this, and I pulled it up, and I said, okay, here you go. We're going to call her Mary. I said, here's my phone, and just go put your name and your email in. That way they're putting it in, they're typing it in. Now give me a number 4 for you guys who are on with me live. How cool is that? How simple is that? How easy is that? And it doesn't feel, you know, salesy or like, hey, can I get your email so I can send you something? I mean, I don't think you're going to actually ask people in an awkward way like that. But when you give somebody the phone and they're like, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to get this, they're putting it in, but they've also given you permission. So what else did they do? You've just now generated a lead. You have, you know, captured their information. And then you want to follow up appropriately. So you want to share that with them, or share with them. You want to follow up with them. And I did. Now, as interesting as I'm being 100% transparent and honest, I followed up with her 2 times, haven't heard back from her since. I heard back from her once. She said, yeah, I watched it. It was amazing. She's busy traveling on the road right now. So, but I still have her in the pipeline. But I ran into her at the grocery store, and I just said, here you go, fill this out. Totally cool. And then she did ask me, she's like, oh, like what category am I? I'm like, well, you'd be a prospect. So then I just hit send, boom, it was done, and it was pretty awesome. So that is pretty cool. At least I think it is anyway. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys. Oh, the other feature is the download part. Last thing I promise here is you'll see on there where it says offline audio available and then download video. So that means for this presentation, there's 2 files. There is the audio and then there's the video. And so this one, by the way, Alan Simpson's my upline. 2 levels just above. It's pretty funny because they're from Australia. So it's Alan and Linda Simpson in Australia, Casey Conrad in the United States, and then me in Canada. I'll tell you that story later, but it's pretty cool how it worked out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to not do that. I'm going to turn off my data. So I'm going to go into airplane mode. So what I'm going to do now is you'll notice that when you do this, guys, whoops, I always do that for some reason. Shut down the app, is that it says offline downloads available. The app has 2 gears or 2 functions. It's got an online function and an offline function, or online gear and offline gear. Right now it's an offline gear. So you notice in the side menu there's basically just downloads. So you can't see anything else. That means that you don't have any data. So that means when you're listening to this, so if I go to Jeremy Tracy's presentation and I want to listen, I can go here. Okay, I'm actually listening to that presentation from the file that's downloaded onto my phone. Now, if I want to get rid of it off my phone to make room, I just hit delete audio and it gets out of the download area and you're good to go. When you turn your data back on right here, then you're back in business. You see how the menu repopulates again. So that is my little demo for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you're excited about the let me unshare this, that you are excited about, goodness, Barney, about doing the Share to Win challenge, because it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty easy. And my encouragement for you would be to, now whether my wife and I are going to convention next week, so I might see you at convention, and if not, then we'll see you online. I wanted to just give you a couple minutes if you guys have some questions for me. I know I had a couple 1s and 2s and 4s, maybe I skipped number 3. But David, Steph, and Robin, do you guys have any questions for me at all? Anything about the app, about how it works, about anything at all? You can unmute yourself, or you can just ask your question, like in the chat box.
No, I'm going to go through and watch the video again because I'm taking care of my mom today at the same time as I am home. But it's very, it's very interesting info. I like how you can send the presentations. Presentations to somebody. I'm sorry, my mom's calling me.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
But I like that part. That feature seemed really cool.
Yeah, and it's cool because, David, I know that you said you wanted to build a business. You're loving the product. You're using them. You're busy taking care of your mom. You know, this is where you could have one earbud in, you know, where you're doing your thing, depending what you're doing. Or maybe you're at home during the day, or you're walking the dog, or mowing the lawn, or washing the car, or folding the laundry. And there's always, this is a thing. It's when you can educate yourself, and when there's when you have no extra time, or net time, I call it, when you're just like your day's busy and you're max, well, you can have one earbud in and be listening to some of the presentations. And then when you get inspired and you listen to something and you're like, wow, I really want to share that with my friend Frank, but he's on the other side of the country. This is where you can, like, right then and there. That's when you get that inkling of inspiration and you want to share it with somebody. Just go in, first name, last name, email, and send it to them, but then write a personal message and say, hey, I just shared this great presentation with you. You got to go in and check this out. And you can do that when you're doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, that I think is awesome.
Yeah, because you'll be able to do that when you're, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are. And what I'm actually going to be doing, is some more training over the next couple of weeks, doing like some live training, different ways that I've been using to share how I'm doing this with my own team, because I'm in the trenches. You know, I've been building the business part-time for 5 years. We went, executive in the second month we started, and then silver, and then gold, and then we've been right at gold. So when I started the summit, it actually has been a huge distraction from me building my business, but the vision that I've been given and inspired with from God has been very big. And I was not really clear on exactly how it was all going to piece together, but the vision goes way beyond just me ranking up my own business, even though I'm going to. And I'm only sharing this with you guys because I'm in the trenches with you. I created this tool out of inspiration to help you, but not just another thing that's on your plate that you're like, you bought something, like all these books and tools that I have up here. Now, most of them I have read because I was inspired to read them all when I was in fitness. But we really want to make sure that we can help support you through giving you some different creative ideas to get good use of the app. And the cool part is that we've priced it very, very affordably. It's $19.95 a month. So you can start the subscription, and if any time you want to cancel, you can cancel for 2 or 3 months and then come back if you want. We always encourage just being consistent and dedicated and focused, because then you get a return on your investment in your business as well. So I just wanted to see if there's anything else. So Steph just says everything is super clear and awesome. Excited to check it out. As a stay-at-home parent, I depend on a lot on videos and podcasts when I don't have time to sit down for research for yourself. So good on you, Steph. Like, literally, you sound like my wife, okay? My wife, I love her so much, and her dream was to be a stay-at-home mom. And I said, honey, all the power to you. I love my girls so much. We have 3 little beautiful girls. We probably will have at least 1 or 2 more. If it's up to my wife, we'll probably have 3 more, which would make 6. I don't know how that's going to work. But I sometimes just think, like, I have some mad respect, not only for the single parents out there, but the parents, like, and the business builders out there, like the mainly women. I know there's like David, as the guys in Young Living, we're a bit of a minority. And I actually started the business. My wife didn't. But I'm saying this, Steph, in response to your question or your comment, is that it is challenging to build the business, but when you have tools that you can use, and Steph, I'm going to say this, I'll just pretend you have a little newborn baby, or like a baby, let's say a 6-month-old baby, and you have 2 older kids. When baby's down for the nap and the kids are either playing the other two are playing, or they're at daycare, or maybe they're out playing with friends or something, and you have some time, you literally could make a list of the people that you're going to share on an Excel spreadsheet, or write them down, or go through your downline viewer, depending where you are at your journey with Young Living. And then just start sharing these presentations. And so what I'm going to be training with my team on personally is doing 5 a day. Okay. It might seem daunting, but literally the only thing that I think is daunting is just not having the people to actually share with, which is another thing that has to be worked on. But anyways, you can actually just share with 5 a day. And think about it this way: what would your business look like, or your product experience look like, if you shared with 5 people a day? Or if 5 is too much for you to think about, just think about even just one person a day, and think of all those little mini seeds that are going out there that are getting planted in people's minds and hearts. And you never know which presentation is going to spark their interest. And for Steph, she's at home. She sends it to her friend Susie. Susie gets it and like, oh my gosh, like this Jim Bob guy is really cool and funny, and these products sounds amazing. I got to get back to Steph and see what's going on with this thing. Now I know why she's so inspired with Young Living. And that's literally all it will take to take your business and take your experience to the next level. So, and Robin, I think I was calling you Ty based on your name, but it's Robin. So it looks great. Wish I'd known about this before you ordered DVDs. Like how it's so mobile. So I think you're referring to the symposium from Doc Ollie, which his event, Doc Ollie was involved with the summit in the first year, and he liked it so much that he decided to do his own event called the symposium. It's almost identical to the summit. And, it's cool. I know that there's a lot of people that are out there that have DVDs, but we never have shipped DVDs or offered them, just because I can't sell them because I don't believe in the DVDs, because they're great to have, but we don't have a DVD player. Well, we do have a DVD player. That was a little oversight there, but we don't use it that often. When we do use it, it's just to connect our Apple TV to our TV so we can use the Apple TV. But the thing with the DVDs, or even flash drives, so like I have these flash drives, they're amazing. They're great. They're small. They're convenient. All the training for 1 year is on here. You put it in your computer. The challenge is that you have to get the content. So then you got to get it onto your device. Then you've got to try to get the presentation to somebody. And that was the biggest hurdle that we ran into when going back and surveying over 3,000 people over the last 3.5 years with the summit. Is the biggest thing was they're like, Barney, this is really cool, but I missed out on half the presentations. I would love to buy them, but I don't even know. I haven't been through them all. Or I bought the flash drive, I lost it, I got the downloads, my computer crashed, or I got everything and I can share them, but then I'm trying to share them with my team. And there's just a lot of kind of hurdles with that. So the DVDs are great. It's just that like my computer doesn't have a DVD anymore, let alone some of the newer computers don't even have the flash drive. Like you have to get like little attachments. This looks kind of weird for a flash drive, but this is what a flash drive would look like. And so it is very mobile, because that's the way that our society kind of is. And this app is meant to serve from that perspective. So unless there's any other questions or comments, I'm going to wrap things up, because I did say it was going to be about 15 to 20 minutes, but depending on how many questions there are. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in live. If you were here, Robin, Steph, and David, and there's a few more of you that I saw come on, pop in and pop out, but then I couldn't see your names while I was doing the training. And that is all I have to share with you. So thank you. Peace and God bless. Have a great day. And if you're inspired by this, make sure that you share this with your team members, because tonight at 9:30, if you're watching this live, June the 7th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm on doing this again. Tomorrow, June the 8th, which is a Friday at 2 p.m., I'm doing this again. And then Friday night, June the 8th, is at 9:30 p.m. as well. So if you want to send your people to come on, I'll do this exact same thing and let them know how it works. So David, did you try to come back on there, or was that a mistake? I don't know if you had a last question or a comment.
No, I was just saying thank you. Thank you very much. And God bless you too.
All right, you're welcome. Well, take great care, and take care of that mother of yours. And thanks, guys, for jumping on. And we'll hopefully meet you guys in person someday if we haven't already. And I'm going to finally sign off already.